So let's get into this the media world.
Yes.
And you got in. So you were saying earlier that you started doing it like while you were skating, right?
What?
Like doing some of the radio, and media and stuff like that.
Yeah, no. I was an announcer for the X Games.
Oh shit!
And that was I got fired because I had a attitude.
You got fired.
I still back it though because they hire me right to be the guy that interviews the vert skaters because I was still good, but I was doing too many drugs to win. And they were like, "We're going to give you a job as the announcer," and I was like, "Okay, cool, I'll do that." And then the first year, I got a headset, and this guy in the truck goes, "Hey, this guy's got like a 7.6. Ask him this question." And I go, "Who the fuck is this guy in my ear telling me what to ask? Like, were you ever top 3 in the world? Because if you're not, shut the fuck up."
Let me do my thing.
You know why they gave me this job? Because I'm one of them.
Yeah,
like, that's the whole point. I can go over to you and ask you, and you will talk to me because you know me.
Right.
When you have some dingbat that's like, "Hey, kook," like,
dingbat.
like so, they get like some cute bitch. And it's like, yeah, I get it, you're cute, but you don't fucking skate. No offense. I don't care if you're a girl or a guy, but if you don't skate, this is our world, dude, and we're bringing it to the masses. The person that interviews is a fucking skateboarder, or shut the fuck up. Like, know that. And then this guy is in my ear saying, "Ask this question." I'm like, first of all, stupid question. Second, who the fuck are you? And then Salema, my friend Salema Masakela, who was like the host of X Games, he looks at me, he taps me, and he goes, he goes, "He can hear you." Because I didn't know that the guy could hear my microphone. And I go, "Oh, yeah? Hey, man, shut the fuck up."
Double down on that shit. Double down.
And then, I got fired.
Jason ain't playing that shit.
Yeah, because
that makes sense, though, yeah.
Dude, and then they went under for it. Like, they started hiring girls to interview people at the Mega Ram contest, ask them stupid-ass questions where it's like, you don't know what it's like. And if you can't explain like how it is to be up there and like how dangerous it is and what you would really be thinking if you were really up there.
Right.
It's different if you played the game or you've done enough research with us to like, because Salema can't skate.
Right.
But Salema's friends, he's been in the trenches with us.
Right.
He's seen us go through the injuries and the rehab, and he knows how much each individual athlete has put in to make it there.
Yeah.
But when you're no offense, man, but like if you're some snowboard chick and ESPN hires you to interview the vert guy, like that was the other thing. Like they had me at Winter X Games 2 years ago, and I was like, I'll do it, but I will not act like I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
If you want a guy to come from like, "Man, I think it's crazy what you guys do," I'll do that for you.
Yeah.
But I will not speak upon this like I am one of them.
Right. It goes back to your authenticity that you were talking about. Like,
you gotta like it. It's just like
real,
you got to be respectful to the people in the game, and it's like you want this to be popular. Give them the real version.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, don't give them this video game bullshit.
Yeah. That's a big thing with football. Like a lot of the media and stuff.
You guys
like,
have a lot. I see it.
It's crazy sometimes because it's like they can't really relate and they're asking questions, and that's why a lot of the times they like, these guys are fucking assholes up there, or they being dickheads. But it's like, bro, it's like you said, it's a different.
They don't take that person serious,
right? When you don't come from that world, and it's hard to like ask some of the questions to like put it in a mind frame where the people that's watching can kind of like,
it's corporate, dude.
Right? Get some shit, learn something.
Corporate infiltration, where they hire a person to do a gimmick. Don't forget to mention Subway sandwiches. Good luck in your next play. Like it's like I am here to fucking die for my sport. Who the fuck is this snow bunny? I don't want to know. Like I don't have time for this shit. I got another ride, or I got another play, or I'm about to race NASCAR. Who the fuck is this chick?
Right.
But and I know what I sound like to some people, but I'm just like passionate about the game. Like I'm not a football player, but if you're interviewing a football player, you better be a football player, or you've because I know there's people that were not pro athletes that have put in enough work
in the sport
to where they talk, where the other athlete respects the question. It's a legit question because they put in a lot of work to understand what is going through the mind of that particular athlete.
Absolutely.
But when you're just cute, I shut up. Like
point blank period.
Just talk about Pepsi or some shit like that. But when I did the X Games, that was my first taste. And then I did the gigantic skate park tour. And then that's when Tony got offered a radio show on Sirius XM because they were like doing Extreme Athlete Channel. It's some cheesy shit.
Yeah.
But Tony goes, I want to hire Jason to be a radio guy. And I didn't know this at the time, but he goes, you know what? Jason would actually be really good at radio. You should check him out.
Yeah.
So I'm his co-host. And the first episode we did, all the executives flew down to San Diego to watch it happen. And then when I started talking, I saw them talking while I was talking like about me. And I'm like, what are they fucking talking about? And then after the show, they were like, hey, we want to see if you'd be interested in being a DJ for a Sirius XM. And it was at the tail end of my skateboard career.
Right.
And I was like, I was pretty sure that I was going to be packing boxes for like a skateboard company if I was lucky. If I was lucky, dude.
Damn.
So I was like, yeah, I'll be a DJ. And they're like, you got to move to LA. And that's when, because there's no vert ramp in LA. So that was the day, like I told people, it was depressing, dude. But I had a girlfriend, she got pregnant. She was like, I'm going to have it. I want you to be the father. And I was like, I don't make a lot of money and my skateboard career is coming to an end.
I'd be over.
I will move to Los Angeles. I will retire from skateboarding and I will hustle to be a DJ. And I saw the movie, the Howard Stern movie.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, that's my thing. I'm going to be the next Howard Stern. And I was like, same rules apply to skateboarding where it's 10 years. You put in 10 years, hardcore, everything you got. And that's why when things happen like the snake.
Yeah.
Where my brain was just like, because I had to drive like 4 hours a day to do the radio.
Damn.
And I was like, people that are in their cars.
One way?
On Fridays, 2 hours on a Monday or whatever. But I remember thinking, I'm in this car in traffic. I would kill for somebody to talk in a way that would make me not realize that I'm in traffic.
Right.
There we go.
Okay. So that helped me.
Yeah.
When I was on the radio, I was like, if you don't say something to keep people listening, you've lost that person.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So every minute I was on, I was like, if it comes, like I remember I was like, I'm scared of this snake. What if I bring in a giant snake to bite me tomorrow? Will people change the channel when they hear that? I believe they will not.
Right.
So fucking bite me.
Yeah. Pop over to fucking Jason's channel right now. He got a snake wrapped around his fucking arm. Like
I got to tell somebody about this.
Yeah, it worked. The show got big.
Quick. Yeah. So shit, that started.
We ain't doing that.
You ain't getting no snake. King, come on now.
Here, bro.
Come on now.
That's what we got him for.
If we get somebody to bring the snake,
that's what we got him for.
I take a little nip from a snake. I ain't scared, cuz.
You will be.
I mean, I'll probably be scared.
When they start looking at you curling up, it gets creepy.
Yeah.
You got it, JC. Go ahead.
Hey, look, we're Mississippi boy.
You got your boy, and you know his crazy
I'm
ass.
cool. It's cool. It's a snake. You know what I'm saying? People live.
It's crazy.
John not going for the snake. He not going for the snake.
I don't mind the snake.
What do you mean not a bite?
I can like a
point,
bitch, John.
We get to pat it.
Fuck, John. You want a damn snake suit in this bitch?
Oh, man.
Get a little blood in there, John. Fuck. Come on now, man. So the show started in 2005. Tony got the start, and you just hit the ground running.
Yeah,
taking calls.
And then my show got big, and then people started calling our show and saying inappropriate stuff because of the way I was doing my show.
Oh, yeah.
So then I had to step away from Tony's show, and that's when it really got. Then it was like I went to New York, I had a meeting. I was like, "Hey man, I want to talk more," and he was like, "How long do you want to talk?" And I was like an hour. He's like, an hour straight. I'm like, "Yeah." And then I'll play 2 songs, and then another hour. 4 hours a day.
2 songs, damn.
Because I used to be just a DJ.
Yeah.
Like I talk for like
in between,
5 minutes.
In between songs?
And then play songs.
Yeah.
And this guy, Steve Blatter, gave me the go-ahead. And I remember just being so excited, dude, getting on the plane back from New York to LA. And I was like, I'm going to fucking go so hard.
Yeah.
And I was like, welcome to the Jason Ellis show. There was no promos. Like, I just started calling it the Jason Ellis show.
Yeah.
And they didn't care because they were in New York and they just let me go. And then, like, I think maybe 5 or 6 years, it became the biggest show on that channel. And then I did a phone call thing because Hulk Hogan did a phone call thing on the Howard Stern channel.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, the world record for phone calls on Sirius XM in an hour was 21,000. And it was because Hulk Hogan was doing call in, brother. You know what I mean? Like, and it was 21,000. And I did it and did like 87,000 in an hour.
87,000.
And that's when I was like, wait a minute.
Upwards of 60K?
I was like, wait, if Howard Stern channel has the record with Hulk Hogan and I just did that, am I as big as Howard Stern? Because at the time he was getting
that was a checkbox.
He was getting $100 million a year.
Yeah.
And I was like,
hold on now.
Howard Stern was getting paid like that?
Yeah, dude. He got 3 5-year deals for $500 million.
Shit.
So I was like, give me $1 million.
No idea.
Radio show?
Yeah, absolutely.
We got
Radio.
We just gonna call in all day.
Some on the radio.
Golly.
On radio, let's do it.
You said 500 mil?
That's $100 million a year, 5-year deal. 3 times.
Golly.
Yeah, dude, he's a billionaire from that shit.
Yeah, he did that.
No, that's.
But yeah, he put in, 20 years of terrestrial radio, and he changed the face of radio for like he's a Michael Jordan of radio.
Right.
Yeah.
Like when people do stuff now, it's cool. It's like, it's like LeBron did cool, Kobe cool, but there's a Jordan, there's a guy that was like at one point nobody around him was close.
Right.
That's what Stern was.
Howie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, Howie like that. And he's
like that, bro.
Yeah.
He played the game in a way that changed it. Like, dude, there's no Joe Rogan podcast without Howard Stern's radio show.
Right.
Like, that's how I see it.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's fact.
No, you're right.
That's fact.
I mean, shit.
Like, Will Chamberlain and all that shit is like, people forget because they're not from those eras, but like, there were people that did stuff where everybody else was like, what the fuck? You can do that?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That is what he was doing in the 80s when you and I didn't know what Howard Stern was like, but he did stuff where if you play the old tapes, you're like, nobody on terrestrial radio talked like that.
Right.
Like,
or had the audience and guests like that. Yeah.
They didn't do anything like that.
Yeah. Howie was
different. Now we all say whatever the fuck we want.
Right. Shout out to Howie, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was getting paid like that. I never looked into it, but that's.
I was working at the company, so I remember going, keep going, Jason. This is going to work out for you. I never thought I was going to get that, but I was like, you're going to make $1 million a year, and you're an illiterate, washed up skateboarder, dude. You make $1 million a year for talking shit on the radio. You won, dude. You are the winner.
Yeah.
Right.
Facts.
And I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Win for real. Big win for real. One of the top shows.
I was such a douche. Because I'm from Shipville, dude. You give me $1 million, I buy all the dumbest shit ever.
Be like that. What was your first? I guess the dumbest shit you bought with your serious
turbo
money?
Porsche 911.
Ooh,
there we go.
That's me.
S550.
That's me. Car guy.
Yeah, he did say car guy earlier.
Yeah,
Car
I had
guy.
jet skis. I had what else did I have? I mainly spent because I had when I got divorced from a baby mama, I married this tattooed girl that was like, we should have an open relationship. And that's when shit went sour because I was just boning everybody
out there.
And it was
outside.
And it was like, it was like the darkness took over.
Ooh.
It was like I don't believe in, the devil or anything, but I do believe there's like dark and light in this world.
Okay.
And I think the money and the fame and all the bullshit that the people that come around when they know that you got that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was covered in it. And I didn't know, because if I had known I would have.
Right.
Because when it all disappeared, those people disappeared just as fast.
Absolutely.
Which was I'm happy that it all happened, because it was like a wake up call. You think you'd know by because I wasn't young when this happened, dude. It was already like, late 40s and 50s where I'm like, what do you mean these chicks ain't coming around no more? I'm like, dude, are you really that stupid? Like, you thought those people were your friends? Like, you idiot, dude. Like, you absolute idiot.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
But I'm glad it happened because now I use it in my comedy. Like, there's more lessons that I've learned because I've made so many mistakes in my life.
Yeah.
And now I can make jokes on it,
Right.
but also a lesson in it, where it's like, hey, everybody, like, if you think this is what life's about, I can assure you it's not,
At all. That's dope.
Damn, man.
Man, been around, did everything. What's some of your most memorable like shows over at Sirius? Like, I guess as far as like guests and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, Ozzy Osbourne was like, he liked me.
Ozzy Osbourne.
And like, I'm like, well,
Legend.
Prince of Darkness likes me right now.
I was about to say, he didn't like a whole lot of people watching his shit.
He was cool to me. And then I seen him a couple of times like out, and he came up to me in front of people. Jason, how are you? And I was like, shut the fuck up. Ozzy Osbourne is saying hello to me. And my friends are like, you know Ozzy like that? I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I didn't think so, but yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, stuff like that was
That's dope.
was super cool.
He's a legend for real.
Everlast, me and him are still friends to this day.
Okay.
That's lit.
That dude's cool as shit. And I'm friends with Be Real. And there's people that have always. I was friends with Marilyn Manson for a while there. And everybody thought that was cool, but I was like, he's a little dark. That was when I was.
He was dark for you.
Maybe, but there was a little thing there where I was like, you know what? Maybe this is not a good idea. And then when I got sober, I was like, I have no. Those people I stay away from. I'm happy for him. I hope everything's working out, but I'm over here.
Understand.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Ludacris and I hung out.
Luda.
There's a bunch of people that I've always looked up to that were nice to me because Kawasaki gave me Kawasaki motorcycles,
right?
Because all the truck drivers for Kawasaki listen to my show, and I was like, I'm riding moto, and my friend's like, dude, is that a factory Kawasaki? And I'm like, kinda. And they're like, how the fuck did you get that? I'm like, those guys hooked me up. Yeah, so there was things like that where they gave me a jet ski, like things like that where it wasn't about like what the thing was. It was like who gave it to me,
right?
It was like, I didn't buy this like the gear. I got like custom moto gear. Like they put my name on it. Like it was just all this life of when I go to the Supercross, everyone's like, holy shit, Jason Ellis. I'm like, really?
He said, I just talk on the radio.
I'm just talking on the radio. If you see me ride, I'm not that quick, but
damn.
Hell yeah.
But I was super
grateful. Man, that branding. Stuff. I mean, like, so how does it work for it? Because I don't know how that world works in radio when it comes to branding versus like a podcast. So like everything you was getting, that's all separate from what Sirius was doing. That was all everything that you get on your own, right?
They would try to stop most people from doing that, but because I was a professional athlete before I was on Sirius, like if they try to argue like, hey, you can't be getting free stuff, and I'm like, I'm Jason Ellis, motherfucker.
Right.
Like, and they're like, was there an argument that the radio show had made me a bigger celebrity? Yeah, for sure. But I was always
you were still you before.
I'm still like, if you ask me what I am, I'm a fucking skateboarder.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I still sign my name with a skateboard underneath it. Like I'm pretty far from being a skateboarder at this point. But it's like people when they go like, I used to get the intro as a professional skateboarder and professional fighter. And comedians would be like, you realize you're a professional comedian, right? And I'm like, am I? And they're like, yeah, dude, like, what are you saying? And I'm like, I never really saw it like that. But I guess that is kind of my career at this point.
Right.
Yeah. It's hard for me to. So I mean, there was little arguments every now and then. Then they'd be like, you wear, because I would have a clothing line, but they're like, you can't have a clothing line. I'm like, I've had a clothing line my whole life.
Right. Like, what are we talking about?
Like, you're not going to take it away from me because I'm on Sirius XM. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, Tony can have one.
Facts.
So I had one too.
Well, there you have it.
And they were very.
I didn't know it was that strict in the radio world. I mean, like
they control. If you were an up and coming DJ, they would do that to you. But it was a weird thing where it was like, Tony's Kelly Slater and Tony. They were. Like everybody knew them,
right.
And they were like, nobody really knows you, Jason. I was like, well, if you deep dive, some people do.
Some people,
and you can't take
right.
that away from me.
Right.
And I also had like a cocky, like I wasn't gonna back down. Like I would go to meetings with like the execs, and I'd be like, "You guys are a bunch of fucking pussies," and everyone would look around like, "Did he just call the CEO a pussy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man." Like, I'm your workhorse over here.
Facts.
I talk this way because I'm not insecure in this room because I'm putting in that work.
Putting in the work.
So,
Right.
like, I'm telling you, like, I'm giving you good advice. You should listen to me. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like a boss would be like, you know what you should do on your radio show? And I'm like, how's your radio show going?
Don't tell me. Don't
And
give me
they're
no
like,
advice.
what are you talking about? I'm like, do you have a radio show? No? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I think I know what I'm doing.
I like that.
It was
I like
hard
that.
to deal with me. I feel sorry for some.
Let me ask you, which one did you prefer? Do you prefer the radio life or the podcast life? Or like
podcast life easy. Because
Podcast?
you don't have a boss.
That part.
I had
Yeah.
that's the thing. I'm happy that I've experienced it, but I now am aware of the corporate world because of SiriusXM,
Right.
and I have no interest in being affiliated with them whatsoever.
Mm.
Like the corporate world is where creative minds go to die.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, it's like you do something good, something special, and then it's like some big company buys it. And then they water it down and sell it cheap when it's like half what it was. Like
Right.
that's like the corporate. Like it doesn't matter what business it is. As soon as corporate gets a hold of it,
Fuck it
It's
up.
a different product.
they water it
different
down.
product.
They give you the watered down bullshit version of everything.
Yeah.
So it's like that's why in comedy, like everyone's like, you're gonna do a special, and I'm like, why? Like, so I can give Netflix some money. Like, I don't care about a special. I don't care about being popular. I don't care about being famous. Like, I don't have any need for that anymore. I used to want to be famous. I used to want everybody to recognize me on the street because I was insecure and I felt like nobody loved me when I was a kid. So, like, I understand how my dynamic is. What I want is to be really funny.
Right.
That's all I care about.
That's my goal.
If you're gonna pay me a bunch of money to do a show, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not an idiot.
Right.
But if it's like fame over being a really good comedian,
Yeah.
so that's why I can't be bored. That's why it's pretty hard to have a bad day for me. Like if the tickets don't sell, I'm like, well, it'll happen. And if it doesn't happen, I don't really care about that. What I care about is like, I put in that work every day after I do a set. I'm like, what was funny about that? What wasn't funny about that? Maybe I'll chop that off. Maybe I'll add this to that. Maybe I'll do this here. Like to me, the coolest thing about comedy now is like my peers, like Whitney Cummings or somebody like that would be like, hey, what you're doing right now, you're a fucking monster. This shit is just keep going. It's going to work out for you. And I'm like, that's Whitney Cummings
Right.
telling me that.
Yeah.
Like
crazy.
that's the thing that I'm like, these are the things that make me happy in my life.
Right. So between you transitioned out of Sirius and you were doing the podcast and stuff, how did you take that turn into the the world of comedy and getting
Well,
on
I actually
stage?
thought about doing comedy, but when you do a show for Sirius Monday to Friday, you could never be a comedian
Right.
because you could never go on the road.
Right.
Like when I was at Sirius, if I took a week off, fans would DM me and call me a piece of shit.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, do you have a job? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, have you ever taken a week off in a year of your work? And they're like, well, yeah, that's different. I'm like, how is that different?
Right. How is it?
Like, this is my job.
Right.
I have a family. Like, I would like to go on a vacation. What am I, a fucking asshole? Like, people were so mean when it came to that shit.
I mean, it's a thing though, because I feel like just as consumers though, I feel like consumers do forget that. Like to your point,
it's not their fault.
Yeah,
They don't mean it.
Right.
Like, it took me a while to adjust, but it's like they love you.
Yeah.
And they're like,
this is true.
I'm at work. Where are you? And I'm
Right.
like, I'm in Australia. They're like, Australia? What the fuck? And I'm like, man, I haven't seen my family for like 2 years. Like, let me go.
They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't give a fuck.
I mean, back to those drives you talking about, like, yo, I can listen to you on this sad 2-hour truck drive I gotta make. Now I gotta go 7 days in the car trying to
people be like, reruns? What the fuck, Ellis?
Shit,
and I'm like,
Shit, when we have to push the damn drop date back from Wednesday to Thursday, hey, bro, where the fuck y'all at?
Yeah.
I got work today. We need this shit. Like, what are you doing?
I'd be like, shit.
Well, damn, because it's tomorrow. It's coming tomorrow.
It's coming. Like, Faye busy. Let's get it right.
That's how it is for everybody.